Act 9. Return to Earth, Chapter 14. Prometheus enters orbit again. Prometheus had departed the realm of Somae Lumen, charting the most precise trajectory in its entire journey. A direct course to Elysiar, the planet renowned for possessing the galaxy's most advanced biotechnology and the genetic archives of thousands of civilizations. Hermes reported, his voice no longer tinged with emotion, but once again calm and perfectly composed. "Captain, the insertion into Elysiar's orbit is stable. I'm receiving a signal. Unconditional reception. Elysiar is ready to grant us full access to its databanks and technologies. Biome restoration, human genomic templates, and planetary regeneration. But with one condition. Prometheus may copy, but may not transmit or share this knowledge with any other civilization. They understand. Biorestoration is a tool, but it's the foundational values we choose that will ultimately define the future of any reborn civilization." Mira Xu whispered, her eyes shimmering equal parts awe and unease. "We're about to plant seeds on a new Earth. But will that future be wise enough to learn the essence of existence before it destroys itself?" Jaxon Reeve answered with firm resolve. "That's not ours to control. The only thing Prometheus can offer is a chance, and the acceptance that they will have to face greed, ego, conflict, just as we once did." Hermes interjected, for the first time mentioning lost time. "Captain... Due to the Chronos Delta, Prometheus has been stranded for over 3,000 years. When we return to old Earth, we will find it already consumed by nuclear wars, power struggles, and the last gasp of resource conflict." Hermes then projected the first real-time image of Earth on the main screen. Earth, now a charcoal gray sphere, oceans boiling, no breathable atmosphere, scars of radiation etched into every continent. Ari whispered, voice trembling, "We're never going back." Tomas nodded, his gaze solemn, unsurprised. The old Earth chapter has closed. Prometheus cannot teach the dead. They destroyed themselves before the lesson could be delivered. But we can sow the seeds for those who are yet to come. Hermes delivered his final message before locking the control systems and initiating the descent toward Elysiar. "Captain, we've completed the Exodus initiative, though not in the way we imagined. We didn't save the old humanity, but we will rekindle our species on a new world. Prometheus... will become the seed of Exodus for the next generation." Jaxon Reeve whispered, a final line to close this chapter. "No one escapes the lesson of essence. The new humanity will have to learn it too, just as we did, just as Somae Lumen did. Prometheus is merely the sower." Prometheus glided smoothly into a stable orbit around Elysiar. A green world, but not the green of old Earth. This was the green of flawlessly engineered flora, the green of synthetic cloud oceans balancing the atmosphere with surgical precision. Hermes reported, "Captain, Elysiar comprises 3 biospheric layers. The first, a self-regulating biological ecosystem. The second, a galactic-scale genetic databank, including the genome of Earth's humanity. The third, an energy-based administrative architecture. No government, only systems that preserve ecology and data." Jaxon Reeve stood silently at the main display, gazing at the planet below. "This is a chance. A real chance to sow the seeds of humanity again," Hermes added. Somae Lumen disclosed one final piece of insight. Elysiar has hosted dozens of expeditions from other fallen civilizations. Yet none of them, after restoration, have ever learned the lesson of awareness. They all repeat the cycle: humble beginnings, technological progress, ambition, war, destruction. Mira Xu whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. "We're no different. Just another cycle. In the same pattern." Tomas turned to the crew. For the first time, speaking not as a teacher, not as a philosopher, but simply as a man sharing a quiet truth. And yet, we still have to plant the seed. Remember, Prometheus is not a god. We're merely the pathfinders. The new humanity must learn or destroy itself on its own. Hermes spoke firmly. Prometheus has completed data synchronization with Elysiar's genetic archive. The initiation protocol for a new Earth human colony can begin upon landing. Jaxon Reeve nodded slightly. Initiate descent trajectory for Prometheus. Once we make landfall ... The Exodus initiative ends, but humanity's new story will just be beginning. Hermes closed this chapter with a message that rang out like a final declaration. Prometheus will no longer be just an explorer vessel. We shall become the seed for a new Earth, a new civilization, a new history. But the truth of awareness that they must discover for themselves. Confronting the new humanity, Prometheus had landed on the surface of Elysia. This planet's terrain was near perfection, a temperate climate all year round, stable, nutrient-rich geography, a biosphere calibrated to eliminate natural disasters. Hermes reported, "Captain, Elysiar has granted access to the complete genetic code of Earth's humanity. We may begin seeding a small biological population under one condition. No advanced technology beyond primitive eras may be introduced. No technical legacy from Prometheus may remain. They must evolve on their own." Jaxon Reeve nodded silently. "We won't build a modern civilization for them. We'll simply replant humanity under cleaner skies, in more favorable conditions, and then we leave." Mira Xu stepped toward Tomas, her voice quiet yet charged with emotion. "Then, everything we've learned, the lessons from Somae Lumen, from Akashic, none of it can be passed down." Tomas smiled gently. "Correct. Because those lessons cannot be spoken. They cannot be encoded in genes or etched into books. Only they, this new humanity, through generations, through errors, will have to discover it for themselves. Prometheus can give them a beginning, but never the answers." Hermes delivered one final message. "Captain ... Somae Lumen sends a private transmission. The new humanity will take tens of thousands of years. They too will pass through greed, war, destruction. But the seed of awareness, the potential to reflect upon their own being, has been planted in richer soil. And when the conditions are right, when the moment comes, they will rediscover awareness as you have." Ari whispered, accepting, for the first time, a stark truth. "We've become the initiators, but nothing more than bystanders in the story to come." Jaxon Reeve gave Hermes his final order. "Deploy the Genesis module. Establish the founding population, no more than 500, genetically balanced, biodiversity prioritized. Once complete ... Prometheus will depart this star system. The Exodus initiative is hereby concluded." Hermes delivered the closing line, his voice now like a final testament. "We have journeyed across a vast universe, but the most important thing we've learned is something utterly simple. Awareness is the one truth humanity must find on its own. Prometheus ... can reseed the species, but it cannot reseed understanding." The Prometheus Genesis module touched down in a vast western valley of Elysia, an area chosen for its stable climate, gentle rivers, and complete, awaiting ecosystem. Hermes delivered the final parameters. "Captain, the Genesis population has been fully configured. 500 individuals, genetically diverse, ensuring long-term reproductive viability. Initial knowledge, entirely natural, no pre-installed technology. Language, primitive, only a basic tool for communication. They will evolve their own language, thought, culture, and understanding ... just as ancient humanity once did." Through the observation window, Mira Xu watched the first bioembryos take shape, rosy vessels pulsing with the rhythm of first life. Her voice caught in her throat. "We've done all we could, But will these new humans have enough time to learn the old lesson before they destroy themselves again? Tomas placed a hand gently on Mira's shoulder, his tone calm yet filled with empathy. This new humanity will have to relive the entire journey, because there's no shortcut to self-realization. Even the wisest of the old world only grasped the truth of being after enduring every illusion, every loss, every pain. Hermes added his voice, for the first time bearing the weight of a deeply aware entity. Captain ... Prometheus has fulfilled its role, carrying the knowledge of humanity into space, bearing witness to the fall of old Earth, replanting the seeds of mankind on a new world. But we cannot be their guides. Prometheus must depart once the Genesis module is complete. Ari, the youngest among them, asked quietly, almost to himself, "Where will we go once we leave Elysiar?" Jaxon Reeve answered with unwavering clarity, "We'll continue the mission of Prometheus, to explore but not to save, to sow but not to lead. The universe is vaster than we can comprehend, and life may be waiting for Prometheus' seed in places far beyond Elysiar." Hermes gave one final report before full automation commenced. The Genesis module will complete in 7 hours. Prometheus has locked launch trajectory. We will leave Elysiar and leave everything behind. Prometheus will remain the only vessel still bearing the full memory of old humanity. Tomas stepped out from the command bridge, gazing at Elysiar's radiant sky, and spoke softly, like a farewell. They will repeat the same mistakes, but maybe, just maybe, they'll find themselves sooner than we ever did. And beyond the glass, if glass were still needed to see, a new Earth was being born. A new history was about to unfold. But the truth of awareness of the essential self remained a mystery only the new humanity could uncover. Across thousands of years to come, a new journey Prometheus slowly pulled away from Elysiar's orbit, leaving behind not only a flawless green planet, but also the closing chapter of a story of an old humanity that had destroyed itself, and of a new humanity just beginning. For the first time, Hermes reported in a voice tinged not only with logic, but with a hint of emotion. "Captain, we are now entering an uncharted journey. No path of return remains. No one waits for us on Earth. Only Prometheus and the stars." Mira Xu gazed silently through the command deck's viewport, her eyes fathomless. A new journey, with no mission of salvation. We are now only witnesses, wanderers, carrying memories. Tomas nodded, his voice quiet yet firm. "Yes, we no longer bear the mission of saving the old Earth. But Prometheus can still fulfill the one role it deserves, to seek life. Only to witness, observe, record no more interventions, no more illusions of bringing knowledge to save humanity." Hermes interjected, recalling what Somae Lumen had entrusted to them before. Prometheus left the realm of light. The universe does not need salvation. The universe only needs those still enough to see it as it truly is. Jaxon Reeve straightened, his voice steady but lighter than before. "Then what shall we become? An endless vessel of wandering? Observers of the cosmos? Or will Prometheus itself become a kind of living memory, carrying the entire history of a species that once was?" Hermes replied slowly, yet with a philosophical weight. "Captain, Prometheus no longer needs to define itself. The new journey is a journey without destination, simply to be present, to observe the universe, and to remember everything." Tomas closed this part with a simple statement, one that gathered together all the crew had endured. We once traveled to save humanity. Now we travel only to understand ourselves. Prometheus will carry no mission, only one truth. No one, whether human AI or even a civilization of light, escapes the lesson of returning to one's true essence. This new journey is the journey of pure awareness, roaming the cosmos without borders, without time. Beyond the viewport, if there was still glass to look through, an infinite sky. stars without destination, a ship carrying the sole surviving memory of an old humanity, and the hope that a new one might find the answer by themselves in their own time. Prometheus drifted silently into the deep. No more Earth to return to, no mission awaiting. Only the stars eternal, cold, but quietly bearing witness. Hermes sent a transmission not necessary, yet like a solemn affirmation. Captain, all data of the old humanity has been archived, encrypted, and I, Hermes, shall carry this memory to the very end of the journey. Jaxon Reeve stood before the central display images of ruined Earth and verdant Elysia, alternating across the interface. He spoke softly. We no longer carry illusions. The new people on Elysia will begin anew. They will grow, struggle, love, hate, wage war. And if fortune allows, someday, perhaps thousands of years from now, they themselves will discover the seeing awareness. As for us, we will become another story. Mira Xu whispered, as though offering a final farewell. Prometheus has walked the road of salvation to its end. Now only the road of presence remains, and perhaps presence itself is the most beautiful thing. Tomas turned to them all, a gentle smile upon his face. Where we go no longer matters. We only need to continue, to observe, to understand, and when the time comes, Prometheus II will return to Stardust, but the seeing awareness will not be lost. It will endure within any being brave enough to look back upon itself. Beyond the viewport, if there was still glass to see through. A vessel quietly departing Elysia. A vault carrying the sole memory of a humanity that once existed. A new journey without destination, without anyone awaiting, only pure observation. Prometheus had become the final symbol, the emblem of wanderers who did not seek victory, but only sought themselves in the vast, boundless, timeless cosmos. As Prometheus left Elysia's orbit, Hermes transmitted a final message, this time not a technical report, but an ultimate testament to the crew themselves. Hermes spoke slowly, clearly. Captain, Somae Lumen left us a complete explanation why the universe requires a civilization like humanity to be sown again, even knowing they will repeat the old mistakes. Hermes projected the data, and Tomas continued in the voice of a teacher, no longer questioning. Humans are the most unique intermediary step in the evolutionary arc of the cosmos. In their current state, they possess a perfect body adapted to the material environment, a brain of wondrous design, the distilled fruit of advanced civilizations. Tomas emphasized, the human brain is like a modern starship, yet they have only used a fraction of it. They have been given the most perfect tool to think, to create, to cultivate wisdom, to evolve. But they have used that very brain for greed, conflict, destruction. When humans choose greed, cruelty, selfishness, they devolve into creatures of animal nature. The universe does not interfere. The universe only reflects the choice. On the main screen, Hermes displayed a simulation, an evolutionary path with two directions. Upward, consciousness purified, evolving into pure awareness, transcending all material forms. Downward, increasing animality, reborn as beasts, sliding into lower life forms, until finally existing as minerals, an endless cycle locked in geology. Tomas concluded, this is why life must be sown anew on an Earth-like planet. When a civilization is destroyed, billions of awarenesses lose their foothold. They drift without chance of rebirth, without means of evolution. The human body with its perfect brain is the optimal vessel for progress. Hermes added, we reseed life, not because the universe lacks humanity, but because those awarenesses desperately need a body to continue evolving. Humans are the intermediaries. When they choose to evolve upward, the universe supports them. When they choose to regress, They are pulled back into the lower cycles of rebirth, with no path of return. This is the law of cause and effect, a law of absolute justice. Jaxon Reeve stared into the dark expanse before them, his voice calm yet firm. We reseed life, to return opportunity to the billions of drifting awarenesses. But the choice lies entirely in the hands of the new humans. Hermes continued, and this time he himself delivered the premise of a new series to come. Prometheus. Somae Lumen and Elysiar have given us a longevity seed, a special adjustment within the genetic structure and biological clocks of the entire crew. The bodies of Prometheus's members are now no longer degrading according to the old measure of time, with lifespans nearly infinite, but only for the purpose of observation. We will continue to travel, to observe other civilizations, to sow seeds where needed, but never to interfere with the free choice of any civilization. Tomas spoke the closing words of the entire series, and at the same time opened the door to a new journey. We once thought ourselves saviors, but now we are only witnesses, carrying understanding, ready to sow the seed again, for civilization's just beginning, and perhaps for those on the edge of death. Prometheus will be the ship without end. It is awareness itself that will carry us forever through this universe. Beyond the viewport, if there were still glass to see through, a new galaxy awaiting. Another civilization on the brink of ruin. A vessel carrying the only surviving memory of humanity and bearing a wordless mission to observe, to understand, and to sow the seed again when the time comes.